Hello everybody and welcome to the Budweiser All-Pro Series, and we are here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, also known as Loudon. And this is going to be a very interesting race because this race can be helpful and hurtful to big-time contenders, as we both know. I got Seth Cole up here in the booth with me. Seth, thank you once again for joining me up here for New Hampshire.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is a track completely different from the track we just left. Just left Daytona International Speedway, where the throttle is your best friend. But here today at New Hampshire, the brake is going to be your best friend. There is no way you can run these turns wide open unless you want to have a head-to-head collision with the outside retaining wall. So I'm telling you what, these drivers, they got to put on their technical racing faces here today.
And pit strategy, too. I've seen this race come down to lots of pit strategy.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you also, the reason for the pit strategy is because of using the brakes so much, a lot of rubber is used in this particular race, and so those Goodyear Eagles, those fresh Goodyear Eagles, they're going to be your best friend all day long.
Yes, they will. We're going to go racing for 30 laps around this 1 mile racetrack. This is the, what did I name this race? The Lionx Industrial Tools 300 or something like that? 301?
Yep.
Something like that.
Lennox 301, yep.
Yep, as you see the cars roll off the racetrack, or roll off pit road. So we have a very interesting, thing to say the least, and that is our pole sitter is actually our point leader. Connor Breton will start on the pole, and he is also the points leader so far in the Budweiser All-Pro Series.
Yeah, I mean, he really is in a great spot right here at a track where, in all honesty, it is somewhat difficult to pass, and if you get good qualifying track position, then it's really going to help you out. So Breton, this is great for him to be able to be out in front, and he's got a shot maybe at going to victory lane.
Yep, it'll be very interesting to see if he can do that too. His strategy will definitely come into play along with cautions, so we'll see who can win this race based off that. Green flag is out. We're underway here at New Hampshire. It's nice and sunny out too, by the way.
It is, and that's another thing. I mean, a lot of rubber gets laid down at this track, but with that sun beating here, it can be very slick conditions, and again, that can cause your car to almost want to step out from underneath you, and again, that's going to create tire wear.
Yes, it will. As you see, Breton gets out to a very good lead.
I was watching right there between Pemberton in the 17 and Villanueva in the 78, trying to see which line gets the advantage. It looks like the outside line is best in the entrance of the corner, but right in the middle of the corner, the inside line, the driver is able to roll the throttle a little bit better. So neither one really gets an advantage, but there are two specific parts of turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4 where the inside and outside line vary.
78 is trying to. I think the outside line's good in 1 and 2, I think, but it's a little bit better in 3 and 4 as a noticeable driver is already fallen back, and that's Trent Dunham. He started this race in the 5th position, and he's now fallen back, stuck on the outside line.
Yeah, and as we saw, the outside line, it's not exactly got as much grip as the inside line. We saw the 17 make the pass on the 78. We see Henley going to the inside right now on Srigley in the 88. Actually, now I think Srigley might have him cleared. But, yeah, the outside line, it's got that grip going into the corner, but it seems like those guys that are caught in the outside line are getting a little loose off the corner of 2 and 4, and that's what's losing them some positions.
All right, let's see if we can find any noticeables in the back. Here's Joshua Balkin. He has a win. He won his race at Pocono, and remember what we said, there's only 2 spots left to get in the chase, and there's 3 races left until the chase starts. So
also came off a great top 5 finish last week at Daytona.
That is very true. So oddly enough, if you're in the bottom parts of the points like Trent Dunham and others, you want to hurry up and try to gain as much spots as you can because, like I said, there's only 3 races left until the chase starts.
But again, like we said at the beginning, I mean, yeah, these guys are running at the back, but we got to keep in mind pit strategy could play a factor. So maybe running at the back isn't such a terrible thing. You don't use up your equipment quite as much, and it may end up being that conserving of your tires and everything that might allow you to maybe stretch it a couple laps more, or who knows.
Very true. Here is the All-Star race winner from season 4. That is Jessica Shelton. Now, it was at this track last year where Shelton got her first victory of the season to lock herself into the chase. Now, she is winless so far besides the All-Star race win. So what do you think her strategy is at this racetrack?
Well, I think she just completed step number 1 of her strategy, and that was get into the inside line. She had been stuck on the outside line behind Trent Dunham for a good portion of the first few laps of this race. She now finally tucks in line in the 9th position. And I think basically what she's just doing is wanting to be up at the front. I mean, right now she's in the top 10. That's going to allow her to be able to roll the dice, could use a little bit of strategy when and if these drivers have to hit pit road.
That's very true. Let's look up at the front.
Boy, we got a bit of a breakaway here.
Cameron Pemberton and Connor Breeden have kind of pulled away from the from the field. So it's very interesting to say. You think that 17 car's got his car hooked up?
I think he definitely does. I mean, it took him a little bit of time to have to get around the 78 when the green flag dropped. But it seems as soon as he cleared Villanueva, he set sail and he's right there, ready to make any kind of a possible challenge on Connor Breeden. So what looked like it was going to be smooth sailing for that number 47 Chevrolet, it now is going to look like it could turn into a bit of a battle for the lead. Now what's going to be interesting to see here too is if Joseph Strigley and Jessica Villanueva, if drivers from third on back, if they're going to now be in single file, be able to run these guys down. It looks like Strigley, slowly but surely, he's reeling in these top 2 as well.
That is correct. Yeah, Joseph Strigley. I'm not sure if he just said that or not, so I don't want to reiterate. But yeah, he did just get past Villanueva. And do you see here's Boyles in the 7 car. He had a run on the 78 car, but kind of drove it a little too much into turn 3.
I mean, like I said, this track is so hard to pass it, but we got to pass it for the lead here. Here comes Pemberton.
Pemberton to the inside of Breeden. Breeden got the run off the high line, but the 17 is still underneath him. Let's see if he'll be able to complete the pass heading off into turns 3 and 4 here.
And I'll tell you who this is going to help. It's going to help Joseph Strigley be able to reel in these drivers even quicker. And look at this. Whoa, Villanueva Henley! Whoa! Oh, and right back up into traffic. Dylan Young involved.
See, now here's what's going to help. Now the cars are going to stop, and no one's going to run into anybody. At least not yet. You have the 5 of Shears stuck. I'm coming. Stuck on the outside. Just teleported to pit road now, so all the cars are not going to catch up. So that was a very interesting turn of events right there.
Yeah, it was.
See the 78 car actually able to keep going, still apparently in the 8th position.
Yeah, but she's got damage now.
We'll see where she comes around at this time. She says in 10th place. Oh, bit of a stack up here.
Whoa, careful there, guys.
Couple cars going around each other.
There was some. Whoa! 17's blown up. What?
Now this was some major stack up.
Oh my goodness. That is the leader of the race crunched in the front and blowing up.
Wow, that is incredibly tough for that 17 car.
Oh my goodness. That is a heartbreak.
As the cars in the back come to pit road, we're going to be right back and take a look at what happened to bring out the caution for the first time. Okay, so tell me what you see. You see Villanueva coming up and nothing happened, but then here comes Sean Henley.
Yeah, that's a hard one to call because quite honestly, those two had been racing each other pretty clean for the last number of laps, and I honestly do not know where the initial contact began. This might have been something that was brewing for the last couple laps. There might have been some contact between that we didn't see, but it obviously looks like both Henley and Villanueva purposely got into each other. There was some score being settled there, and unfortunately, the 5 and the 38 just get caught up in it.
Yeah, I completely agree. You see, Dougie Shears, maybe I was something thunder. You see, Dougie Shears just had nowhere to go, right to the side, and gets trapped on the high line with the 38 of Dylan Young just trapped up there.
And, you know, both Henley and Villanueva, it takes a lot to set both of them off, so there must have definitely been something there underlying that we did not see take place, because it really, honestly, to me, looked like both of them were trying to take each other out or try and send some kind of a message.
Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh!
Wow, that stack up we talked about on the front straightaway, they had not yet all gotten in the right order.
That's
And
what happened.
the leader, Cameron Pemberton, just nailed them.
Wow.
I mean, Cameron Pemberton, after crossing the line, had just one goal, and that was get behind the pace car, but apparently was not paying attention to what was ahead of her. And, oh, wow, I think Kyle Matthews might have actually run into the back of the 27 as well.
Well, I guess, the NASCAR or the NNSCRA's rule of slowing down when you take caution doesn't seem to want to come into effect here.
No, apparently not. Well, I mean, the pace car was on the back straightaway when all this was going on. And when Pemberton came around, Pemberton was trying to get over to the to get behind the pace car for pacing laps. And apparently, I would say that'd be on the 17 spotter, not letting her know, hey, there are cars that are stopping right there. You've got to slam on those brakes and wait for all that to settle out. So I put that on the blame of the spotter.
I completely agree with that one. So that's what happens to bring out the first caution of the day. So let's go back up for the restart. All right, we're back here at New Hampshire, and as you can see, the 18 O'Neill Belvin has a suspension problem.
Yeah, I'm not certain that he might not have gotten hit from behind as well when they were all trying to slow down, because when we saw that whole thing happen between Cameron Pemberton and Carson Gum, the 18 was down on the inside lane, the breakdown lane. So I don't know if it was from contact or if something just broke in that car after he crossed the stripe for that restart. But we got Sean Henley out in front. You can see he's got damage because that car pancaked the left side into the inside safer barrier separating the track from pit road. So this will be a very interesting restart to see if he's up to speed.
It will be. So, here we go, coming off the turn. With Henley being the leader, a bunch of these drivers, I think, took fuel only. With Henley, Wagner, and Shelton might have taken fuel only. And as you can see, it's not going to take very long for the 88 car to get underneath his teammate, Jessica Shelton.
Yep, Joseph Strigley got the Goodyear Eagles on there. The fresh Goodyear Eagles going to give him more grip and more opportunity to be able to make passes. Obviously, more speed as well.
He's already
coming oh my God. Man, dive bombing that 57 car. Going to go 2 for the price of 1, and looks like it'll win. Hi, pace car.
I know, right? And it's not, after not very long at all, he moved up to the outside. It's going to allow Voiles to go to the inside for the lead. And here comes Steve Pollard.
I'm not sure, but I think that 57 and 23, I think they're both sitting ducks right now with using the gas and go strategy here, because all those other drivers behind them, they took Goodyear rubber and they are blowing by them like they're standing still.
Whoa, look at the 4 car.
That 4 car of Steve Pollard right there, and take a look back there at them slicing and dicing. There's Breton diving low back there. I think possibly the 23, 25, and 57 are true. Whoa, 4 wide! They are 4 wide!
And look at who's threading the needle. That was Trent Dunham.
Holy cow, and they made it doggone work!
Wow. Don't you just love commentating my series?
Oh my goodness.
The 22 with the bump.
I'm seeing things in NR that I never knew were possible. And there you go. 23, 25. They realized, okay, we need the Goodyear Eagles. Oh, there's a caution they need too, right there. Lisa Gonzalez around right in front of the field.
And that is not good, because Lisa Gonzalez is coming into this race dead last in points.
Now these guys got to get going, because the leaders were past the start-finish line before that yellow flag came out. They're still racing it around. Now they're under caution. Voiles, the brake, Voiles, the brake. Please. I think he's okay. I think he'll be okay.
Yep, Daniel Voiles will be okay. We saw what happened to Lisa Gonzalez, so let's go back and take a look at it as we're just under 10 laps to go. All right, we're looking at this here. Look at the 55 is already pushing on the 2 of Jake Haynes as they're just trying to avoid the cars slowing down to go to pit road. Cody Lamas may have got into the side of the 55, and Charles is thinking about making it 4 wide. Pushes the 55 up into the 2, and then it's just gone from there.
Yeah, they just ran out of real estate there. That really wasn't anyone's particular fault. They just really were running out of room. When you come off of turn number 4, everybody's battling for the same amount of real estate, and that 3 wide situation, just some door banging and finally 55 into the 2, and both of them get into the wall, and 55 spins in front of the field. Now, I noticed James Silverfox got a little piece of that as well, so don't know how significant the damage might be on his right front.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to take a look at that. Now,
Another thing I'm also curious to know about is we saw the 23, I believe that's Robert Wagner, and the 25 of Shelton. Now, they dove onto pit road. The question for them, and also Henley there, the question is, did they cross the stripe before the leaders came around? Because if they did, they would still be on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think they did. At least I know Shelton did. Let's get it off here. Let's see. Shelton crosses the line there. And then Wagner crosses the line there, so I think it might be just Henley.
Henley, I think, still they were repairing that left side damage he had from the earlier incident. So Shelton and Wagner, I think, are going to be back on the lead lap, but I think Henley's going to be off the lead lap when we go back green.
Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. As we're under 10 laps to go, let's see how the finish is going to turn out. Welcome back to New Hampshire, but we have something happened to Stephen Pollard III and Jessica Shelton as they both have retired out of the race with no fuel.
That is very unusual because we just saw Shelton on pit road making a pit stop, so I'm extremely confused. The only thing I could possibly think of is, when that wreck happened, did Shelton pull into his pit stall? They then said, nope, we got a caution, get back out there. And then she ran out of fuel under the pacing lap before she made it back around. It's the only possible thing I could think of.
Yeah, that might be true as we're getting back to racing with 6 laps to go. It is Voiles, Wrigley, Pollard, and then we have a battle for here between Collard and Fitzwater, Henrietta Fitzwater. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Now we
whoa! 23 car off the pace. They just blew by him. I think he just came back off of pit road or something.
I think
oh no, he's stopping! Right in the middle of the track, he's stopping, he's out of gas! Oh, he's got to get that car back to pit road quickly.
Oh my gosh.
There's a breakdown lane to your left, please use it.
Robert Wagner out of pit road trying to limp back to pit road.
Oh lord.
What could that come into play? He is technically on the apron there.
Okay, there they go. They're going to get around him on the high side.
I don't know why the NNSCRA. We had another accident! I think.
He saved it, but the caution's out. That was the pole sitter Breton.
And the race is going to be over.
Daniel Voiles.
Wow.
We think. Race ain't over yet, but we think Voiles has won.
Oh, what turn of events did these guys have to pick? Voiles got some back end damage, it looks like.
Now, Wagner was one of the drivers that came down pit road under the green flag on the last restart. We know Shelton retired with no fuel. I think Wagner was in the same boat, but now...
There he is, stuck on the very bottom of the racetrack. As they're coming to the line to get 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some clutching going on here.
There's only really one way to find out, and that's to periodically accelerate towards pit road. So we'll have to wait and see here. Voiles is still pretty good.
Now, we don't really know how that incident started, but we know that it initially was with Connor Breton. Looked like they were like in 3 wide situations there, so probably what we saw happen earlier with the incident that took place in the middle of the pack for our second caution.
Got the white flag now, so definitely gonna have to wait and see if Daniel Voiles can pick up his first win of his career.
And this is gonna maybe shake the points up a bit too, because Connor Breton, I do believe, is either on pit road or has taken his car behind the wall, because there was a lot of hood damage on his machine. And there you see, well, he's actually the last car on the lead lap and leaving pit road now, just trying to salvage what he can.
And if I'm not mistaken, we very well could have a new points leader. It was only separated by 23 points.
And I mean, what a turn of events this race has taken. We saw Jessica Shelton using pit strategy. That didn't work. Sean Henley, Jessica Villanueva, both running in the top 10. They got together and wrecked. And then, of course, Connor Breton got on the pole position and ends up wrecking coming to the final restart. And there you go. Daniel Voiles is going to make it and win it here today.
Yep, the the Lennox Industrial Tools 301 winner is Daniel Voiles.
Man, well-deserved win for him, too. I mean, this was a crazy race. It was, for some of these drivers, it was a race of survival, really.
Leader wrecking under caution, 4 wide. I mean, that's
yeah,
just unbelievable.
Little bit of everything, and it showed the old adage that nobody is safe. And there you see Connor Breed. He's going to cross the line on pit road, officially in the 35th position.
Oh, that started with Collard.
Oh wow! It was actually I think Breeden started that incident with the 13.
Yeah, but see right there, 3 wide right there.
Larry Hagan, 22.
I don't know why NASCAR called or NNSCRA called a caution for that. I mean,
I'm honestly not sure either. They held on to it, so I'm not really sure why they called a caution for that too. Let's go back real quickly. Just look at that one more time. Maybe we can find out, because I'm with you on that. 13 is around, yes, but oh, right there. Okay, yeah. That car was pretty much sideways in front of the field, and I think that was just like a spur of the moment decision. I don't think the flagman expected Collard was going to be able to straighten it back out, so that's probably why that happened, because the 13 was practically almost 90 degrees there on the front straightaway at one particular point.
Yeah, that is very true. Well, the race is over, and it's Daniel Voiles going to victory lane.
And a great job by him, great job by Joseph Strigley and Steve Pollard. Those were really, if you think about it, 3 of the constants up here at the front of the field for pretty much the entire race. Even though they weren't necessarily up leading the race, they at least were pretty much in the top 10 for this whole 30 laps.
Yes, they were. And not only that, come away with a good finish. I just feel bad for the 17 car.
Right.
Because it was the 17 car who hit the back end of, I think it was the 27 under pace laps, and that took him out of the race.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I'll tell you what, how about Joshua Collard? We just saw him slideways out of 4. He was able to hang on to the thing, cross the stripe. He's going to finish 7th here today, and Trent Dunham was actually right behind that as well. So nice job by a couple of those drivers. Larry Hagan, who got a piece of that incident, Dusty Allen as well, all leaving with top 10s.
I have no clue who the points leader will be after this race. I just know we'll most likely have a new one because of where Breeden finished. So
yeah, I would agree with.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I agree with you on that.
So thank you so much for joining me, Seth.
Hey, thanks for having me. I mean, I'll tell you what, New Hampshire, it's a track that I'm not very familiar with. We actually don't visit it in my series very often, and so it's amazing to see this kind of racing here at this track. It was a great race, and I still can't get over how they went 4 wide and kept it together at that one point. That was absolutely amazing. So thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And guess who benefited from that? Trent Dunham.
Yeah.
Well, another race in the books. Next week is a very sentimental race. We're going to Kentucky next week, and that is officially deemed the Dylan Poteet farewell tribute, or the Dylan Poteet farewell to NR 2003 race for Dylan, in honor of Dylan Poteet and all his NR 2003 accomplishments. And if I can, I want to actually see if I can't get both either Youssef and Poteet, or just Poteet in the booth to try to commentate that race with me. But like I said, a very emotional next week. I think it'll be for it being for Dylan Poteet.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you see where you finished. Congratulations to Daniel Voiles. Next week is Kentucky. 1 spot left to get into the chase before we have to start eliminating people, or a person. So
right.
We'll have to wait and see. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to both of our channels, NNSCRA, and of course my channel, McKinleyman93, for some good and exciting NR 2003 content and other videos. I know Seth does gameplays and stuff like that, so always be sure to watch out for him. I know I watched a lot of his gameplay videos, and he's pretty cool. So
make me blush.
So thank you guys so much for joining me, and we'll see you guys next week at Kentucky. Until we meet again.
Bye.